on my computer here. This is really starting to get irritating here. You would think, anyways, it'd be easy. Well, it kind of sucks when you can't get Bluetooth on your thingy here. I'm sure on this computer I probably could. On the one that I'm broadcasting off of right now, of course. I am taking requests still, so I have not forgotten about that. I do already have two requests. I still have two requests on the way. I still have Marvin Gaye to play. I still have a song from Keith Urban I need to look up. And I mean, I still got a whole bunch of other requests on the way. But before I do that, I got to give a shout out to someone I actually was talking to earlier. As a matter of fact, let me go and see if I can bring his song up here. So I want to play his song real quick before I do anything else. Let's see here. There it is right there on the first page already. Cool beans. I got to give a big shout out. Watching him. I know well enough he's not listening, but still going to give a big shout out to my friend Lee Laudermilk. I know his last name kind of sounds funny there, but I got to give a shout out to Lee Laudermilk there because I had a chance to actually talk to him for a few minutes on Facebook earlier today, and I had to pretty much tell him how much his song, like Johnny Cash 2, was pretty amazing, absolutely amazing. For those of y'all who actually heard it the other day, I did play it the other day, but I figured I'd give it another chance for anyone who didn't hear it. I was going to go ahead and play it again. So, need to find a speaker here. Damn it. I hate this. Oh, the humanity. I swear. But anyways, I talked to Lee Laudermilk. I pretty much told him how amazing his song, like Johnny Cash 2, was. Told him how much of a person I appreciate music, love music. But I asked him what the name of his album was that was coming out. He said he was currently working on that. So if you guys haven't checked out his song, like Johnny Cash 2, you guys can get it on iTunes or on Amazon. And the song is called Like Johnny Cash 2. He wrote it himself. So let me see here. See if I can't get it up and running. So I'm going to go ahead and play that real quick, and then we're going to get to our comedy clip of the evening afterwards. So without further ado, here is Lee Laudermilk with Like Johnny Cash 2.
It seems, waiting for the right girl to come along, walking through the fire and walking that line, taking life one second at a time. But she crosses your path, y'all stop dead in your tracks. Her smile goes around, God's not gonna strike us down. So darling, take my hands and we'll dance nice and slow to the beat of our hearts. Only we'll know when we meet to each other under this glow. I'll whisper in your ear real nice and slow. I'll fight for you, girl, if you promise forever, and we'll walk the line together. Baby, if you wanna be my June Carter, I'll be your Johnny Cash too. When you made a girl so true, bring me out the fire, now she's my desire, taking me from a hurt I really don't deserve. Someone like her, but she's my fire, and I tell her every day to always stay. And she always says, just dance with me, baby. Darling, take my hands and we'll dance nice and slow to the beat of our hearts, only we'll know what we mean to each other under this glow. I whisper in your ear real nice and slow. I'll fight for you, girl, if you promise forever, and we'll walk the line together. Baby, if you wanna be my June Carter, I'll be your Johnny Cash too. Whoa. Take my hands and we'll dance nice and slow to the beat of our hearts, only we'll know what we mean to each other under this glow. I'll whisper in your ear real nice and slow. I'll fight for you, girl, if you promise forever, and we'll walk the line together. Baby, if you wanna be my June Carter, I'll be your Johnny Cash too. Whoa. Johnny Cash too. Whoa, Johnny Cash too.
Whoa, man, this is Surfer Joe, and it's time for the comedy clip of the evening. Whoa. Alrighty, welcome back to the Seth Show right here on Spreaker.com. Lee Laudermilk, and like Johnny Cash too. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to that. Like I said, I do apologize for those on the Friend Life app here. I am still trying to figure this thing out here with the speaker. I am currently working on that, though. I think I almost have it figured out. But in the meantime, since you heard the cue for the comedy clip of the evening, I said I had the Blue Collar Gang themselves, Jeff Foxworthy, Bill Engvall, Ron White, and Larry the Cable Guy, up next with our favorite jokes for our comedy clip of the evening. So let's go ahead and get into it. And while I'm doing that, I am going to try and figure this damn thing out. Here, without further ado, here is our comedy clip of the evening with the Blue Collar Gang themselves with our favorite jokes.
What do you say we bring the boys back out? Mr. Bill Engvall, Mr. Jeff Foxworthy, Mr. Ron Taylor Solid White.
You know what? It's funny. We travel all over the country, and we all been doing this for a number.
I never considered you a spinner.
This is the same guy. Yesterday afternoon, we're at the Lincoln Memorial, and he said, I had no idea he was that big. And Bill said he's not even standing up.
You know, we travel all over the country doing these shows and stuff, and it's funny, being a comedian, people always come up to me and go, hey, tell me a joke. Which is weird, because nobody walks up to a plumber and says, hey, fix my toilet. So I thought it would be fun. It's, do what we do every night. Like, we finish a show, and you're jacked up from the show. You can't go to bed. So we sit around down at the bar or Waffle House or whatever, and we just tell jokes to each other. And I thought it might be fun to tell our favorite jokes tonight. All right? Yeah, just joke.
All right. I got to tell you, I'm dizzier than hell here. The doctor says to this feller, I got bad news and worse news. He says, oh, what's the bad news? He said, you got 24 hours to live. He says, well, what's worse news? I forgot to call you yesterday.
All right, I got a 24-hour to live one. Guy gets up in the morning, 6 a.m., goes to the doctor. The doctor tells him he's got 24 hours to live.
I bet this is the same doctor.
Y'all want to sit next to each other?
So that night when the guy's going to bed, he tells his wife, he said, I've only got a few hours left. He said, I want to make love to you just as many times as I possibly can. And so they do it once, twice, 3 times, and then they fall asleep. Well, about 4:30 in the morning, the guy taps his wife on the shoulder. He goes, I want to make love to you one more time. And she goes, you know, that's easy for you to say, Jerry. You don't have to get up in the morning.
That's good.
Ronnie, you got a joke?
Nope.
All right.
His mind's like a lazy Susan. If you'll just bear with us, it'll come back around here in just a minute.
This guy's taking flying lessons. He's talking to his buddy. He says, first day in the air, the instructor informs me he's an 8th degree black belt and a homosexual. And if I don't succumb to his sexual advances, I have to jump out of the plane. And his buddy goes, well, did you jump? And the guy goes, yeah, a little at first.
Yeah.
So, this woman goes to the doctor, says she's got a digestive tract problem, and the doctor says, well, tell me about your daily routine. She said, well, I get up at 6:15 every morning and make my family breakfast, and at 8:15 I have a bowel movement. He goes, well, let's take an x-ray and see what the problem is. So he takes an x-ray and he goes, well, there's the problem right there. You got 3 worms in you. We're going to have to operate. First worm goes, did you hear that? The second worm says, yes, I did. He goes, what are you going to do? He goes, well, I'm going to hide behind the heart. Other worm says, well, I'll hide behind the liver. And the third one says, I don't know about the rest of you fellas, but I'm catching the 8:15 out of here.
That's funny. All right, let me try one more here. One more here. All right.
Guess the show was running a little long for some of us.
All right.
I didn't know it was going to take this long, sorry.
This fella goes hunting with his buddy, and he got the scope up, and he goes, oh, my Lord, I can see your house from here, and your wife's cheating on you with another feller. He says, I've had it with her. Shoot her in the head and shoot him in the private parts. And he said, I'll get that in one shot. I got it, man. The preacher told me that last week.
This guy's mother-in-law comes to live with him. And she's been living there for about a week, and he comes home one day and she's laying in the floor, and he calls 911, and the ambulance comes and gets her, and they take her to the hospital, and he's out in the waiting room, and the doctor comes out after a while, and the doctor said, well, I got some good news and some bad news. I said, all right, well, give me the bad news first. He goes, all right, your mother-in-law is not going to die. He said, she's had a massive stroke. He said, in fact, she's probably going to live 20 or 30 more years. He said, the problem is this thing has rendered her unable to speak. He said, she just makes this horrible screeching noise like a parrot now. He said, it's also disabled her from using her arms, and she can't feed herself. He said, for the next 20 or 30 years, you're going to have to feed her baby food 3 times a day. He said, also, it's made her incontinent. You're going to have to change her diapers and clean her up every single day of your life. The guy said, oh, my God. He said, what's the good news? And the doctor goes, oh, I'm just kidding with you. She died.
That's a good one.
It ain't right, but you laughed at it.
Mr. White?
There's a cruise ship, and there's a magician that works on the ship, and the captain had a parrot, and he liked to go to the show every night, but the parrot understood the show, and because he could talk, he would give away everything, you know.
He's putting it in his sock, Brock. He put it up his sleeve, Brock. It's in his hat, Brock.